Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Ooh, show me your soul, baby. I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How expensive do I have to be? And then I spell it out before you get it, baby. Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? That was my Alfred Hitchcock impersonation. And I'm excited to be here. What a beautiful day already. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to the 10th day of June. What is that in Spanish? Wait, enero, febrero, marzo, mayo, junio. Junio? Is that? Oh, Lord, 8th grade Spanish. Enero, febrero, marzo, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Be gone, early onset. See, I'm excited to be here. I have to do those mental flexibility exercises because in 3 weeks on the 4th of July, moi will be a strapping young, I've got to figure out how I'm going to say this for the whole year, 59 years old, and I'm excited. So those senior moments, you got to keep them at bay. I don't trust them. You know, seriously. I was signing a check the other day, and I was like, what goes on this line? It was a signature line. Lord have mercy. Shaking my head. Good morning, everybody. What a great day in the neighborhood it is. It's a beautiful day. Going to be hot here in the Chicagoland area. Weather is calling for 89 degrees. We're not complaining, though, because before we know it, it'll be back to living up to its name, the Windy City. How are things in your neck of the woods? I want to know. Put it in the chat. What's the high temperature where you're at today? Because we're all over the world. So, you know, I like to know. I'm nosy. So anyway, I say I didn't listen to any news, so I don't have any hot topics to get into. Plus, I want to get my guest in here ASAP. I have Dan DEEVY here today. You might remember him from back in the day. One of those Hollywood about town kind of guys, you know, on all the red carpets and hobnobbing and rubbing elbows and, you know, pointing pinky fingers out as he drinks tea and coffee and, you know, Dom Perignon and all that kind of stuff. I know, I did some research. And so we're going to get him in here today. And he's also the founder, the visionary, the brainchild of the, not the brainchild, the brain father of the child Gays in Space. Did you know they had Gays in Space? Right? Well, not enough of them, but that's why we're going to talk to Dan about that. And at this point, help me welcome to the show my sidekick. You guys know she's here every day. She's under contract. She's been here all 5 years. My bestie, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Hello, Lucy. And I have an admission. I've been lying to y'all. I know. Clutch the pearls. I know. Oh, happy Pride Month. Why would I remember it's Pride Month when I say clutch the pearls? Anyway, yeah, I've been lying. You know why? You know how every day I go. And today we're sipping on, and I've been saying some kind of hazelnut or caramel. That's because those are the only names I can remember. So today I emptied the bag and I brought it to tell you to fess up. This is what it's been all week. Caramel macchiato. And that's why I can barely read it, let alone remember it. So that's why I had to make up what I made up. Will you forgive me? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's the Bell of Purpose, a standard here on Bathrobe Moments, and not just a little, you know, prop or anything. The Bell of Purpose is here on purpose, and I use it every time I ring it with purpose. Why? Because sometimes we need a wake-up call. Sometimes we need to be reminded. Sometimes we need to just sit up, lean in, and listen up, right? Why? Because it means that either, well, in a clear senior moment, me, my guest, our guest, and you guys out there, we love what you have to say. I brag all the time. I did it just this morning with Dan. I was telling him how my audience members are the most engaging people on the planet. They love to talk, they love to chat, they love to share. But what that means is we are fulfilling that promise, which says that where two or more of us come together, something awesome is going to happen. So have that conversation with each other. Say good morning, pour into each other. Remember, the manner in which we bless others, from the rooter to the tutor, is exactly the manner in which, you guessed it, we shall be blessed in return. So doesn't cost anything. It's not painful in most cases. Say good morning. Say something nice. Share your love. Will you do that for me? Can I get an amen? Thank you. So Dan DEEVY, I thought instead of you know, one of those boring bios that we read, no offense to all the other 722 guests. I loved your bios. Truly, I did. But I love it when we have video, right? So I would like to share with you guys a little stuff, some stuff that, well, no, we didn't dig it up. I tried to dig up some dirt. Trust me. I called GMZ. I called all kinds of rag. You know, the people, what was that thing? The National Enquirer. Are they still in business? The National Enquirer. I don't see it in the grocery stores anymore. That just dawned on me just now. So anyway, let me get this pulled up so you guys can see it. This is Dan back in the day, y'all, doing his thing. Yes, he was. And he's doing more of it, but just in a different way. So let's take a look. Here we go.
Let's go to WTOP's guy in LA, Dan DEEVY of thecinemassource.com, bringing you today's movies from tomorrow's perspectives.
Very quiet. Everything was very quiet, and then boom! And you're just, oh, geez, what the hell? And it had nothing to do with what was happening in the story. It just had to do with the fact that it was really loud. After being really soft. Stop hitting my mom! Julia did her big laugh as she's holding on to her new man, and then the camera goes in on him, and he's standing there, and you're like, oh no, this is gonna be bad. Does anyone remember what happened in Jurassic Park 3? Take a moment, think about it. No, you don't. Because who cares? The whole time as I was watching, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that was kind of smart. Wow, they're going a different way. I'm not liking any of this. At the end of the movie, everyone feels like that girl who wants that boy to just say that he loves her, and that's a great feeling. Movies based on video games never fail, so...
We asked them what world they're from, and apparently it's Earth.
Well, most of us, not all. I may regret
that
making
right.
this particular challenge. I want my ass slapped. Go ahead.
Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you. If you were going to superhero feminize me, who would I be?
Okay, now he's
You're
showing
next to
too
no
much
clothes,
baggage
but
right
you're
there.
pink and you're the source of
That's
love.
just too much.
Wolverine here. I think you've been spending a little more time on your costume than everyone else did. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I have to see the testicles. I have to see the testicles.
Which is why I can't understand why it wasn't funny.
I'm exhausted.
No, it's confusing.
I guess you could say that he's interviewed a few celebrities over the years and that, quite honestly, a lot of them really liked him.
Oh, thank you.
Was that Joan Rivers or her younger daughter?
Oh, I think you're super sweet.
They also thought he was pretty good at it, too.
You feel great
Oh, I gotta
questions.
ask him about that.
Very intelligent questions. Are you from a very intelligent place?
I'd like to think we're
Very. And ask me about my nude scenes.
Yeah, I know.
God, come on. No one's asked me all day.
Really?
No, we don't have to.
Expecting just another regular movie.
Oh,
Sat there
really?
like a good critic with my
Oh,
clipboard taking notes. 15 minutes in, the
Yeah.
pen was gone, and I was clutching the clipboard for dear life. Literally sinking deeper and deeper into my seat.
Okay, I'm stopping it there because I'm on the border of being jealous. Who have I met that's... Oh, what's his name from the 5 Heartbeats? Leon. That's a shame. Can't even remember his last name. I hope he's not watching. And what's her name? I met her too. From Fridays. Remember her when she was like, "Ooh, you even cuter than your baby pictures." Her, that comedian. I met her. And they were at the same event. I got pictures to prove it too. I was so scared going up. I get intimidated. I'm not starstruck, but I'm just intimidated because, you know, those folks, they get away with saying anything, and I'm not trying to get my feelings hurt or have to beat one of them up. I'm just saying, you know, from the street, y'all. Just saying. I'm kidding. Lord, y'all are a rough, tough audience. Listen, here he comes. That's the guy on the street. You saw it. Here he is. Now, first timers. We had a first timer yesterday, you guys. You know what we do. Best behavior. Lots of love. Pour lots of love, lots of light. Put your hearts in the screen. Put your hearts into this conversation as we bring to the stage our new friend, Dan DEEVY. Okay, they actually put their hearts on the screen. Dan DEEVY, first thing I'm going to say is this, because you know I can see you in the green room, right?
Yes.
And oh, you knew that?
Oh, I knew, and I was making sure that my reactions were appropriate. And
Well,
not,
I saw you changing underwear back there. You thought I didn't see that?
well, that was appropriate. I mean, you don't want me here on, you know, with dirty undies. Come
Well,
on,
they
like,
didn't
I'm
look
not gonna
dirty,
do
but
that
they
to
were
you.
quite skimpy, I might say. I'm kidding. But I saw you. I was like, does Dan have ADHD like I do? Because you couldn't keep your ass still.
No, because you know what? This is, as you know, this is a brand new space that I'm in right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's amazing, but this is the first thing that I'm doing on Zoom in the new space. So as I was starting, I was like, okay, oh God, no, the background, no, that's not right. The lighting is gonna be, oh, that's better.
You like that, right?
Oh,
Okay.
let's make that happen.
Right. I gotta move
Let's
me.
make
so
that happen.
you cannot be taller than me. There. Because I think we're the same height.
Oh, here, I can.
Oh,
How's that?
I know what you're up to. You're trying to. I got one of those too, Dan. You didn't buy the only one. I'm just kidding. How do you get it back up? Do you know I sat in this chair for a year before I realized it had that thing?
That it could do that.
Yeah, I was sitting on telephone books. And you know how hard those are to find? Almost as hard as a telephone booth.
Oh, God, yes. There's
Right.
one left in Manhattan. Have you heard that? There's one.
What, phone booth?
Not a full phone booth.
That one that's mounted?
Exactly.
A
Yeah.
phone shelf? What was that called?
Like a phone cubby?
A phone cubby. Or what do they call those? Cubby, that's in the library. No, there's a name for those little things. Sherry McQueen, she is my top fan, and she is like my research guru. What are those things called in libraries, Sherry, that you sit at that have those little privacy sides? That's what it reminds me of, phone books. But I don't care. I bet you I'll still do what I used to do every time I passed a phone book is, you did it too. All y'all did. Don't act like you didn't. Remember back then how going in there looking for change?
Mm-hmm.
Order stuff. One time I found 6 of them in one.
6 quarters?
Somebody must have been trying to do a long distance call and couldn't get through or got hung up on and walked away. Something. Yeah.
Could you imagine being that upset that your call didn't go through, that you left 6 quarters?
6 quarters. So that's
in the phone.
6 quarters. $1.50. Public school. It was public school. But back then when I found it, I think I went and bought a pair of shoes or something with it. That's how far $1.50 would go back in the day. And I wore them to Nellie Olson's birthday party. You know, that girl over in Walnut Grove. Remember her? That's how old that's how old I feel someday.
You know what I miss? Forget an iPad. I miss the portable blackboard that you would like write on chalk. That's how you would take your notes in school. Oh,
wait a minute. How old are you?
Older than you might think.
You're not as old as I am. Can I guess?
Yes, please.
Turn to the side. I gotta look at the real side. I can't judge based on that impeccable dye job at the time. Kidding. I'm sorry. Could it be that I'm jealous? No, because I'm gonna find. Hey, you guys, Sharon McQueen, I need you. We were talking in the green room. I said, how come they don't have like dookie braids or French braids for guys that are bald, like weave, where you could just put on the braids? Who would know? And Dan said, well, that's a Shark Tank thing, but I bet you somebody thought about it. If anybody has a lead on those, could you tell them? I have some hair down in my prop bin.
Do you have the prototype down there ready to go?
I had a thing back in the day in like 7th grade for Rod Stewart. Remember him?
I do.
Remember the rumor?
No.
Rod
Stewart.
Well, there was a rumor about him, and there was a rumor about Richard Gere. You remember his rumor?
Oh, the gerbil?
I know. Isn't that amazing? Sorry, Triple Nickel. You got to go. I need some hair. There we go. It's an older Rod Stewart look, but it worked.
Nice.
I wore this to the grocery store one day, and I think a lot of people thought it was real. And I think it's cute.
I think so too. And look, like way less time. You have no idea the time it takes to make this Lego piece of hair fit on my head, which is what my partner Rich calls it. He calls it my news anchor hair. And it's like a Lego piece that just pops off. And then.
How much do you spend in product per month, average?
Oh, not much. No, it's $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You hear that, honey? It is possible.
Oh, don't get me in bad with Brian. Do not get me in bad. Like,
you'll find out when we come to Las Vegas, he has an entire, not a carry-on, it has to be checked, of nothing but product. Kid you not, on wheels. He does. But anyway, I'm not saying that. I'm shutting. So let's get into you. And we're going to do some trivia today. You guys are going to give away a couple more CDs. Turn it around. Get it anywhere digital download music is available. Okay, so we're going to do that. Dan, tell everybody about what we saw. What was that like? How did you get into that? What was your official title? What is that kind of person known as?
That's a really good question. For a very long time, it was difficult for me to answer the question, so what do you do? And because the answer was, well, I kind of do a lot of things. I, review movies, I interview actors, but we also do promotional work for films and publicity work. And so I guess entertainment journalist is what I settled on because the interviews that I would do, sure, they were fun. And, we would do red carpets and Comic-Cons and stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. But I always tried to make my interviews about something. When I would sit down and talk with people, it would really be about why they were doing a project, how they felt, how it changed them as a person to inhabit, a character for that amount of time. Because at the same time that I was doing that is really when YouTube was coming up and the idea of everybody's a critic was coming up. And so I really tried very hard to distinguish myself from the other voices by making sure that what I was doing meant something. And the way that I got into it actually is interesting. I went to NYU, and because of a housing snafu, I got placed in a dorm with 4 juniors.
Oh.
And yeah. What? So it was like, okay, cool. Like, these guys know the ropes. They've been here. Fantastic. One of them was friends with the news director at the radio station. And he got a call one day saying, hey, we need somebody to go see a movie and then interview Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez. Can you do it? And he couldn't.
Oh, no, let me check my schedule. Oh, no, I have an ingrown toenail I need removed. Sorry.
You know, like, I just opened a Go-Gurt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I am in for the night. So he couldn't do it, but he looked over at me, and I was just sitting there watching TV. He was like, Dan, you like to talk. Why don't you go do this? The dude had known me for a month, and he already knew that I like to talk. So,
How?
I don't know. Some kind of psychic thing.
Right.
Ooh, goodness. But so I want one of those bells. By the
know.
way.
You know what, though? I actually have bells. Little side note, y'all. Bells being made that have bathrobe moments on it, and when you do that, it says one of my motivational quotes in my voice.
That's incredible.
I know, they came to me about it, but no offense anybody, but it's coming from China, so it'll probably get here in 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. We'll talk about that later. Ordering
in a
clothes
big
offline,
DHL box
online.
with yellow tape all around. Yes.
Dude, I got an entire a sport coat and pants once that I ordered and was from overseas, and it finally came, and I'm not kidding you. It was the package was this big. DHL. It was. I'm like, how in the world? It was like when I opened it, it was like one of those rafts when you pull the cord and the thing blows up. The whole suit just opened up. It was all, and they even threw in a free vest and a bow tie was in there. I was like, how? But you know, the people over there, you know, they're known for folding shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, they did a job. I couldn't believe it. There was stuff in the sleeves. That's how I found the vest and the thing. I went to put it on, and all this stuff fell out on the floor. I was like, wow,
Really?
good.
Is it a pair of pants? What?
They were good. I'm telling you, they're good. But anyway, so Dan, I got some intricate. It's Happy Pride Month, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You as well.
And we're going to talk about some of that stuff, and we're going to talk about gays and space. Is that how many people have done that?
Oh my God, that is probably my favorite thing. If we have a booth at a convention or a show, and people walk by, and I can see it happening in their minds, because they'll walk by, they'll see the sign, and they'll read it to themselves, and you can see them singing it in their brains. You can see them as they're doing it, like, oh, gays in space. Like, oh, like pigs in, now I get it. And this all happens across their face in the process, in the span of like 2 seconds.
Oh, wait,
and
so
it's
this is connected to a real thing? A real song or something?
Oh, no. That's just the reason for
is that something with something else?
Just pigs in space.
Pigs in space. That's a thing? What's that?
Oh, Pigs in Space. It was one of my favorite sketches on The Muppet Show when I was a kid. Miss Piggy had on the space suit. Yeah, so Pigs in Space. And there's also, I think there's a Mel Brooks quote as well that's similar. One of your viewers might be able to call this out.
Sherry McQueen. That's
There you
I'm
go.
saying.
There you go.
We should have a game on the board. You know, the little spinner thing back here, called Stump Sherry McQueen. I wouldn't have to give anything away because you can't stump her. Impossible. One day I had a guy on here named Marty Martinez, and when I saw a picture of him younger, he looked like Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster.
Oh,
that was a show from 100 years ago. You wouldn't know about it. Anyway,
with the judge from My Cousin Vinny, Fred Gwynn. There you go.
Who?
Herman Munster. Fred Gwynn.
Oh, he was a judge from. Oh
My
yeah.
cousin Vinny. Yeah, 2 Utes. What is it?
Oh yeah. Him. Yeah. And I mentioned it. Next thing you know, I'm getting a ding on my phone. Not only had Sharon McQueen found a picture of Butch Patrick, but she'd gone and gotten a picture of Marty and had them side by side. I'm telling you, Sharon McQueen, good. She's something else. I think that's what happened, or was that in my own world? You guys are just visiting, so anything's possible. So listen. So you did this thing out in LA for how long? How many people? How many celebrities would you say, or you might have an exact number? Have you interviewed? And out of them all, I want to know who your favorite male and favorite female interview was with.
Interesting. I don't know the exact number. I mean, it's because I did it for just under 20 years, so 2 decades of interviews. So
wow.
Like
how many of them did you sleep with over that amount of time?
Oh God, I wish I could say a higher number than it actually was.
Oh, but you know the number of that.
That I know the number of. Yeah.
Did you really though?
Did
that ever happen? I know you have a partner now, but you were free then, you were single, so it's in the past. So, but did you really?
There were a couple.
Tell the truth. You don't get no names, but did you really?
Yeah. There were.
Celebrity?
It's let me say this: sex with a celebrity is less interesting than you would think because they're really there to see their own performance. Does that make sense?
Marsha? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would certainly do it again. Like, don't get me wrong, but it was not wasn't what I was expecting.
See, I already knew. Now, if it was me, you know what I'd have been doing back, especially back before the internet. I'd had a secret little, and I'd been looking for all those where they had surgeries and stuff, so I could jot it down and sell it to TMZ when they were invented. Or no, back then you could sell. Oh, hold on, I almost knocked my light over. You could sell any old kind of thing. Now this is another thing. When you were doing that work, did you have to sign stuff? So they would say, like, you can't use this, or don't say that, or don't you dare ask me about, if they had some scandal in the news currently. Did you have to skirt around? Were there elephants in the room sometimes?
There were. And there was, I'm remembering back to, I think, over the whole time that I was doing interviews, maybe 2 NDAs that I had to sign.
Who was it?
And I think, if I'm remembering right, one of them was for an up-and-coming actress who God, I almost said who never came, but who did not become. Clearly,
she was frigid. I'm just kidding. What?
The way they thought, and so I forget what her name is. But the other one was Tom Cruise. I had to sign an NDA before doing press for War of the Worlds.
I know what it was for. The NDA. You knew that he was wearing booty poppers. His butt wasn't real.
Now I want to get back the money.
Thing sliding out there. I said it then. That ass ain't real. I said it. I clocked it. I'm telling the truth. I'm right, aren't I? He was wearing booty poppers, right? Mm-hmm. I got your number, Tom. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have took him off in the bathroom at the Scientology building in downtown Hollywood. Because I was, remember that in Hollywood where you couldn't walk on that one side of the street where the Fox Theater was because all of the Scientology people would be trying to get you. One day they finally got me. I didn't have shit to do. I had nothing to do. And I was like, well, I want to see what they do. Why did I get on that bus?
So wait, did you watched the movie?
I went in there. You can't get out.
Yep.
I was in there for like 4 hours. I could not get out. And I thought I was never coming out to real life again. And then, stupid me, to get out, I had to give up my phone number. And they actually called it to see if it was, I was like, you guys, I'm just saying.
Wait, while you were still standing there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a whole different level.
And then you had to sign all this stuff that you were going to come and do this and do that before they would take you back to where they. Don't ever get on the Scientology bus. Now, the Wonder Bread bus, that was fun. Remember that?
The Wonder Bread bus?
Yeah, that used to ride around. You could be on top of the bus looking at all the stuff. They take you all around Hollywood. You remember that?
No.
Okay, wait a minute. I got some Hollywood trivia for you. Do you remember, the people that that you walk on Hollywood Boulevard that were like staples. Do you remember the guy that had all the electrical gadgets, the toaster, and he had a coffee maker? It's all those things all over his body.
Yes. Yes.
And then remember the world's only pregnant man? Did you ever see him? He wore a sandwich sign with a big 9-month pregnant, and he wore a smock underneath it, and he was saying, "I'm the world's," and the pregnant stomach came out through the hole in the sandwich. You didn't see that?
Oh my God, no! He was wanting to like take a photo with me for $5, guys.
Yeah, that's what they were.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And then, poor thing, what the saddest thing I ever saw. Seriously,
Was it a boy or a girl?
It was
when
a boy.
he had the baby. No. When he had the baby, it was a boy. Okay.
It was a boy. He was a man walking around doing that. And then there was, remember Alice, the show Alice, Mel's Diner?
Yes.
Remember the guy that used to sit at the counter in the overalls with the glasses? Like, real quiet kind of guy. He was a regular, but he sat at the counter.
Yeah.
Do you know, it was like 9 years after Alice got canceled, and I would see him, because I lived a block over. I lived on Yucca. And so Hollywood and Highland, right in that area.
Right.
And he would just walk up and down the street dressed like his character. And no one even looked like, no one remembered. I did, but I felt so bad. It was, so let me ask you about that. Let's talk a little serious stuff here about people, and then I want to get into Gays in Space and all your other stuff. Did you ever have an interview, Dan, with somebody that, you were like all like this, excited, and then after you interviewed them, you were like, they're not happy, or you had a totally flip side? Talk about that.
Yeah, there was, and
you don't have to name names, but
in thinking back, it was actually something that happened more prevalently with female actresses, that many were you could tell were very tired of being on, and much more so than the male actors. Like male actors, they could kind of come in, they get a little bit of powder and a little bit on the hair, and boom, they're good to go. They're camera ready. But you could tell with a lot of the female actresses that they would have to go through so much to be acceptable, to be seen,
to match the look that their brand put out.
Yes, exactly. And to be, I think one of the most beautiful women I've ever met walked into the interview, hair in a ponytail, very sensible, comfortable clothing, sat down, gave a great interview. We had a great time. There was no hair, no makeup, nothing prep. And when she left, I was like, yeah, Sandra Bullock, one of the hottest women ever. Because if you can look that just gorgeous with no prep, no stress.
So Girl Next Door.
Oh, God.
Door-esque.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So you left Hollywood in what year?
In 2015.
Hold on. Bye, honey. I love you too. Have a good day. What time are you home? Don't be a minute late. I'm just kidding. See, that's how I put it down in this house. I don't know how it is in your house. You saw it. I'm kidding. Bye, honey. I love you. I'll have your bathroom scrubbed by the time you get home. And your laundry done. Right. So, okay. So you left when?
So it was the beginning of 2015. And by that point, movies had really kind of hit a bit of a, like peaks and valleys. They were in a real valley, and everything, to my, in my opinion, coming out of Hollywood was very cookie cutter, was very by the numbers, Wall Street. You would watch the movie and you could see the meeting of money men sitting down saying, okay, we need a movie that is going to make exactly this amount of money. So we need this star, we need this type of story. And it was so uninspired. Things were just, they became very uninspired. And I just got tired of talking about other people's non-inspired work. So that's when I was like, you know what? I think.
Hold on. Alexa, please be quiet. Remember when you used to have to say her name before she spoke? Now she can talk whenever she feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you guys hear this every time she does it out there, and I mean it. She's got about, I'm not gonna say how many times, but she's gonna end up in a garage sale.
That happens to us every time we watch Star Trek because we've renamed ours from Alexa to computer, so it responds to computer. So when we watch Star Trek,
computer tracking so and so, right?
Yeah.
So we can change it. Let's.
Yes.
2 things you can't say in this house: Alexa and soup. Because when you say soup, there's a treat. Our cats like they hear it. You can't. We don't even use S words after 6 p.m. We don't, because if you say shut, they're like, seriously. And then you see them like doing a wagon train circle around you and propped up on stuff, glaring at you, like they're gonna steal your breath as soon as you go to sleep. They get it. They get what they want. I'll play with them. They used to hang out with the pharaohs and stuff. I know mine were reincarnated. I know it. So Dan, let's get into Gays in Space. What a brilliant idea. Tell us when it got started, why it got started, because it's not just a club. It's not just something for another Trekkie mindset to gravitate to. It really has a mission. It is a movement. So tell us about that. I'm going to step out and let you take this because I know this is your baby, and I haven't been officially hired as the nanny, so I'm going to go in the other room. Here you go.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much for your regular viewers. You all know how incredible Lauren is. Like I was saying to him the other day as we were getting ready, preparing this, we were exchanging messages. At the end of his voicemail message, like, I'm so sorry, I'm not here to answer your call. I was uplifted. Like, I felt better about myself. I felt hopeful about life from his voicemail message. So it means the world to me that I'm here and I'm able to tell you all about Gays in Space. So Gays in Space started in 2016, and it started because I had been, I'm a lifelong Star Trek fan and out and proud gay man. The one thing that didn't jive about that was the fact that there were no gay characters on Star Trek. For 50 plus years, there was not a single gay character. There were some times when, like, because an alien had a worm inside of them, that it was, I'm a worm who used to be a boy who was married to a girl who also had a worm, and now our worms both have girls, so girls are kissing. But that was as
what the hell?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, the Trill really actually became the very first transgender characters for Star Trek because of that fact that the symbiont, as it's called, is passed from host to host to host, and so they go through lives as female, then they go through lives as male, and it keeps going and keeps changing. But so I wanted to know why there were no gay people. Star Trek is what it is because it spoke up for the minority. It gave voice to the voiceless. That's what Star Trek does. And for the longest time, I had to sit there and think, why is my group the only one who is not included in this utopian future where everyone gets along?
Clearly marginalized.
Very much so. Very much so. And in a show that in the 60s had the first interracial kiss on television. It's like,
speaking of, I just wrote that down about that. Lieutenant Uhura.
Yep.
And wasn't it Captain Kirk?
It was.
Right, because I was going to ask, do you think they ever, hooked up? I think they did too. Because you remember that skit? Do you remember that skit somebody did? Was it Saturday Night Live? Somebody, and they had her. She goes, "I'm tired of being your occasional chocolate fantasy." Do you remember that? Yeah. That line, I'll never forget that. I fell out. I'm serious. So okay, so that was the big deal. The first interracial kiss, and so. Go ahead, finish your thought there.
Yeah, it was because at a time when, I mean, they were banned in the South. That episode did not air in the South because of the kiss. And Roddenberry, you know, true to his nature, said, fine. You're going to lose sponsors. You're going to lose advertisers. Fine. Like, we're not taking this out. We're not changing this. This is the future, folks. Look at it now, or you'll look at it later. But we are showing it to you now.
Thank you.
And, oh God, it just monumental, the change that he helped to, you know, put into the world. And so you would expect someone like that to do the same for at least one segment of the LGBTQ plus community. Like at least one of our groups. Like, give us a lesbian. Just one.
Right, because you know they love them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because it's girl on girl.
Exactly.
Well, because that's how we're groomed. The little girls, it's okay. You see them walking hand in hand, dancing together at the wedding reception. Let two little boys walk hand in hand. Girl, did you see TJ and Malik? What you gonna do about it? You just gonna let them stand over there holding hands? You know what that gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whatever. So this is really important though, because I hadn't even peeled the onion, if you will, to that point, thinking about, why is that so underrepresented? And it's important because when you see things like Pose that just finished it's just finished, you know, wrapped its show forever, and the fact that all those trans actors were able to get work and they actually use trans people, and more now, people used to have to play gay.
Mm-hmm.
They really were anyway. I think they just like, oh, is that gay role? Oh no, okay. Oh well, okay. But you know I'm acting, right?
That's when they were going to be brave. Remember, it was such a brave thing for them to play gay.
Play gay.
Brave.
And so if they were to have, let me ask this one. I don't know if it's hypothetical, if it's in the pipeline, but if they were to start showing, let's say, transgender characters in any Star Trek piece, movie, television, whatever, do you think they would actually hire a trans person? Or because they might be in makeup and all this stuff, they could put anybody in there?
You know, it's so interesting that you asked that, because in 2016, for the newest movie, Star Trek Beyond, suddenly Sulu was gay. The character of Sulu, formerly played by George Takei, Uncle George, it was shown that Sulu had a husband and a daughter, and he was the first openly gay character seen on screen for Star Trek in 2016. And that is what led to the creation of Gays in Space, because I had spent almost 2 years gathering interview footage with the Star Trek actors, asking the question, why are there no gay people in Star Trek? And I got some great footage, some great answers, really wonderful. And so I was going to do this documentary. You know, I decided enough with covering Hollywood's kind of crap. Let me do my own thing. And so I was building all this material, and then Star Trek Beyond comes out, and suddenly there's a gay character, and my documentary out the window, because now there are gay people in Star Trek. So rather than be upset, I was like, you know what, Dan, take it for the team. Take one for the team. It's okay. Your doc is gone, but a huge moment in history has now happened. Finally, gay people are represented in Star Trek. So that's when I decided, you know what? And what was odd was that it happened and no one was really talking about it. No one really did anything. It was like it happened and then it was gone. And I thought, oh no, come on. This is too important to not be commemorated in some way. And so I was already planning on being in Las Vegas for the annual Star Trek convention that year to do interviews as press. Okay. And I said, screw it, let's do a party. You know what? It may be me, 3 friends, and a couple of beers, and we have a toast and, you know, something to just mark the occasion. And we did it. Called it Gays in Space because it was just the perfect name.
Yes.
And so many people cared. Lawrence, so many people showed up and were floored by the fact that we were doing it. Nana Visitor, who plays the first officer, Major Kira, on Deep Space Nine.
Oh, yeah, the dark-haired girl.
Yes, yeah, short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful human being, one of my favorite people. She said to me, okay, Dan, I really want to come, but I can probably only stay for about 20 minutes. And I said, oh my God, no problem. Like, just having you there will mean the world. Mm-hmm. She stayed for 3.5 hours. Like, I had to put her in a cab to get her back to the hotel.
Girl, everybody's gone.
Yeah.
You turn the lights on at 2 o'clock. You ain't got to go home, but you got to go somewhere.
You got to take photos in the morning, my friend. Like, you need your rest. And then the next day she found me and she said, Dan, anytime you do this again, I'm there. I am there every time. And true to her word, the first, I'd say, dozen or so events that we did, she was at 10 of them. Wow. And the only ones that she missed were ones that were happening in a city where she just couldn't get there. But definitely one of our biggest supporters as we've kind of continued this. But it was like, when Nana Visitor says, listen, if you plan a party, I want to attend it.
Right.
Then guess what? That's what you do for a living from that point on. You plan these. And so that's when I realized, oh, wow, I guess this is what I do now. This is...
So how much? Tell us some of the change that Gaze in Space has created as people have gravitated to it. Like you have something coming up in August, right? Brian and I will be there. We're coming to Vegas to be with you guys, and that's the last place I thought I would ever be, because to be honest with you, I still, and this is a thing, it's different now because LeVar Burton and all the others, but you just if someone would say, oh, here's 2 free tickets to the Star Trek thing, I was like, I am not dressing up. But I also would say, well, do black people go to that? You see what I'm saying? So what is this thing? What is it you guys do now? Are you advocating for more roles within the franchise? And or does it have anything to do with being inclusive, like at these events, like the thing in August, so that people of color know? Because I don't know. That's a whole different mindset, that Trekkie thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what they say about y'all. I'm just
I don't know what you're referring to. But you know what? Some of us did have sex in high school. I can say that at least is, that is an untrue stereotype that Trekkies don't get laid. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, is that something? I didn't know that.
Ooh, yeah.
I know that's not true because they freaky. Trekkie, look. I bet you they're gonna be coming in and out of different characters. You know what I mean? I bet there's been some humdinger after parties. So they'll have another show about that.
Like, talk about the walk of shame out of a hotel room where you're only wearing one Vulcan ear. Your other Vulcan ear is now off.
Someone else's tail. Oh, I'm sorry. My breast shell is on backwards or whatever. Turn it around. That's so funny. That's so funny. So what is it you would like to see happen as a result of this organized movement, this mindset? And what can people expect if they start supporting or even go as far as showing up in August?
Absolutely. Well, I want to tell you a very quick story.
Okay.
Because Gaze in Space is all about inclusion. It is a safe space for everyone. And I was kind of surprised by this, and I shouldn't have been. But when we started doing these events, our audiences would be pretty much split down the middle between gay and non-gay, like 50-50 split, because our allies, they get it. They so get it, and they love it. I mean, we have a couple that come to the annual Wrath of Vegas party every year in full Klingon cosplay. like the whole thing, the turtle on the head and the makeup and the
Klingon what?
Cosplay.
What's that?
They're wearing the costume.
Is that some kind of Vulcan language you just used? What is that?
You know, it's geek language. It's geek.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
make
It's
it
geek.
clear, make it plain, because you know I don't need help thinking I 40 watt light bulb, 40 watts. I'm just saying. When it comes to certain things. Okay, so they came in full.
So they show up every year, full Klingon cosplay, and Klingons are the big tough warrior, you know, like, oh, we're gonna kill everybody. And they show up every year, straight couple, and have a blast. Some of the best photos we have from one of the years is this man as a full Klingon dancing with a go-go boy on at the gay nightclub where
Now
we
there's
do
a
our
visual I can sink my Vulcan teeth into.
You know, there are certain things that happen that I can't talk about because they have to stay in Vegas. That's the rule.
So we'll be there in August. I expect a full report.
So
I'm
it's
so excited.
but it's been that's what we're all about. What we want to do. Originally, we just wanted to celebrate the fact that suddenly we existed. Suddenly, we made it into the future. Rod Roddenberry, son of creator Gene Roddenberry, said to me at the second Gays in Space event, he said, Dan, and he was very kind of cautious because he didn't really know me well yet, but he said, you know, I have heard from certain segments of the Star Trek fandom why there are no gay people in Star Trek. And I said, okay, what is it? He was like, I don't think this, but what some people say is the reason you've never seen a gay person on Star Trek is because it's been cured by the 24th century. Like, no one has cancer anymore.
Who said that?
The weird segment of Trekkies who are actually hardcore red Republicans.
If he or whomever that it was or is in Vegas when we get there in August, I'm bringing this. Let me know. I ain't even saying I'm gonna just come up. That's
what they need. That's what they need. Cured. So when he said that to me, that was because I had never thought of I had never postulated.
What did you do? Did you freeze? Were you like, what in the hell?
I was so worried that he was going to, that he thought that I thought he was saying it, that I wanted to make sure he knew, I know this is not your view. I mean, he grew up in a Hollywood house, he grew up with gay uncles. It was never an issue in the Roddenberry household. So I knew he was just telling me what random fans over the years had said. And once I heard that, it was more clear and obvious that what we were doing had to keep going.
Incredible. You would never think that mindset carries over into a fictional world.
Yeah. But
wow. Now that brings me to the thing about the point about that. See right there, that is proof positive that we as a community have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. We're not going to do it 10 here, 3 there, 1 here, 10 there. We need to come together. Yeah. Because of things like that. Wow. What do you hope to? Okay, let's move ahead 40 years from now when you start going, Moses, is that you? What you doing here? What it ain't what I'm doing here. What you doing here? In other words, the upper room. And I gave it was 40. You're telling me, okay, 50 years from now, what would you like to look over your shoulder and see as progress having been made through Gays in Space? What would that look like to the future generations of people who, because I just know they're going to always be getting closer and closer to the stuff they did in those early episodes and talk about same like with Lost in Space stuff. Dr. Smith was like running and scared of. Remember him? Didn't you think he was like a gay character?
From Doctor Who? Oh,
Dr.
Lost in
Seth.
Space.
We always said he was gay.
Oh, I could absolutely see that. Yeah,
Like,
I could.
girl,
He
Dr.
was lost
Seth,
in a
girl.
couple of ways. He didn't
Right.
really know himself.
He on that planet with them two good. The both of them were fine. The daddy and that single one. I don't remember their names, but I know Will Robinson's daddy was
Danger, Will Robinson, queer.
Listen, you know,
Danger.
I already know because I was sitting with my family. We were watching my sisters Cheryl and Shari. We loved that show. I was like maybe 6, and they were talking about how fine the guys were, and they're like, and some other family member was there, a guy, and he was talking about Judy. Was her name Judy? Whatever the daughter's name was.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2, the dark-haired one, the older one,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, and I was like, oh no, I agree with them, and everybody looked. That was the beginning. That and my request for an easy bake oven that Christmas. So that was I was coming out. So let me ask you, what is your favorite episode of all time?
Well, let me answer your last.
Am I getting ahead again? ADHD. Sorry, child. That's that ADHD. Go ahead, answer that one. Then that's the next one.
Yes. So 50 years from now, looking back on my life, I really hope that it has been a very long time since a Gaze in Space event was necessary. That's what I really hope, because the whole point is to bring everyone together to show. I mean, there are people who come to our events who have never met a gay person in real life. They're
That they knew of.
That they knew of.
Sleeping next to one every night.
Yes, very, very good point. But so for a lot of them, their only exposure to real life gay people is when they come to Vegas, they come to Gaze in Space, and they realize, wow, these are just fun people. They put on a great fun party. This is wonderful.
We do party.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Oh, yes.
There's really nobody who can match us as far as the parties and events.
They know it. Nobody.
Yeah, and so they, so that's what I hope. I hope that one day it's just the wrath of Vegas, because everybody's together already, and there's no one has any hangups about who's sleeping with who, or there's an understanding of
it mirrors reality.
Right. Yeah. So that's my hope.
So you have gays, you have allies. I'm sure, and you have allies. Gaze in Space has allies. People that are not they're hetero or whatever, but they're allies. They're supportive. So how can people who so you have that. Here on the other side, what if a person isn't a Trekkie, but they believe that fairness and inclusion is important? How can they be? Is there a place for them?
Absolutely, because Gaze in Space is rooted in Star Trek, because that's what, what created it. But it has grown beyond that. It has grown to encompass other sci-fi fandoms. And, eventually, one of the things that we're finally able to do now is we are diving into actual science. This year in Vegas, our panel will be called Gaze in Actual Space, because we've partnered with a company called Mars. Check them out, MMAARS.com. And what they do is they simulate life on Mars, living in like a biodome, like a habitat kind of a thing. They do training programs. They do 21-day training programs in the Mojave Desert, where you go and you experience what it would be like to live on Mars. They do a 60-day one at the base of Mount Everest in Nepal. And the fact that we've been introduced to actual space agencies is the most exciting thing that's happened in a long time.
Right. It means they're taking it seriously, and this isn't just some geeky side club. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait. I know what you're going to eventually be able to claim as your change of this entire thing. And it's kind of, to me, it feels like, as a veteran, who served in the 80s during Don't Ask, Don't Tell, is to get that don't ask, don't tell stigma bullshit off of this genre, because there are tons of sci-fi novels. There are tons of it's a world. And why should there be a world in the future that does not have everybody who is in the current?
Exactly.
I mean, in other words, you're writing us out like we're extinct. That ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's what Nichelle Nichols did for Whoopi Goldberg. The famous story of Whoopi Goldberg watching TV, seeing Nichelle Nichols there, and screaming out to her mom, "Mom, there is a black woman on TV, and she ain't no maid." And that was for Whoopi Goldberg. She said this, like, I wouldn't be Whoopi Goldberg if I had not seen that Nichelle Nichols was there, that I could see myself reflected in the future. We made it. We made it. We are finally seen as the equals that we are. We are respected. And that's what the gay community needed and finally got after over 50 years of not having that. We can now watch Star Trek Discovery and see ourselves reflected, because they do finally have a gay couple played by Anthony Rapp and Wilson Cruz. They have the first trans characters played by trans actors. It's what they've been doing. It's like you needed the first one, which was suddenly Sulu's gay, and then it like opened up the dam, and all of a sudden now all of us, everybody in our community is being represented and is finally a part of things. And that's another reason that
that's great.
So
because
happy.
You know what, Dan, you're opening up doors for not just us as a community, but also like things like diversity, as far as it includes the handicapped, people on the spectrum, all those things that, you know, because the only way we understand and can do better with a situation or an opportunity is when we're aware of the situation and or the opportunity. And that's what you're doing, bringing it to the forefront so people can make an informed choice, okay? Because it's not always about a decision, it's about a choice, you know? So I am so grateful to you. I'm looking forward to all you have to offer. And for all of you out there, it's on the screen and has been there for a moment. I'll leave it there as we exit today. Gaze in Space on Facebook, Twitter, or if Instagram is your jam, you can find them there as well. Dan, any closing remarks?
Yes, one very fast story. Gaze in Space is the reason I met my partner. My partner was friends with someone in New York who came to a Gaze in Space event in New York and said to him, "You have to check this out. What an amazing time." And we were in LA the following month. He spent his last $21 on a bus ticket to get from San Francisco to LA to attend the party and then get back on the bus to go back at the end, because he saw a video of me and said, "See, now if I could just meet somebody like that guy, then I'm set." He didn't get to meet someone like that guy. He got stuck with that guy.
Yeah.
But it, you know, and that to me, that is Gaze in Space. We would not be together. We would not be. And talking about diversity, you know, he's a man of color, and you know, he is, yeah.
Which color?
Which color? He is half British, so that part is very pale. But then he's also half African American. So
he is.
He is, yeah.
Oh, well, you and Brian have something in common.
Yeah. We're smart, apparently.
Let me ask, was it the first time?
Because
they say once you go black.
Oh, well, it wasn't the first time, but it was absolutely signed, sealed, delivered. I am in.
There you go. Love,
yes.
Love is love. It crosses all borders.
Yes.
In this world and the others beyond. So that's the beautiful thing about this message. Dan, what hotel are you guys hosting everything at? Where's your main spot in August that you guys, Gaze in Space, are going to be based out of?
It's the Rio Hotel, the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino, and we will have
the purple and all that.
Yes, the one with the zip line.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we'll be there. And Tuesday night through. What's that?
Are you staying at the Rio?
Yeah.
So we should get our rooms at the Rio.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah. And so we will have Tuesday night through Friday night.
Okay.
We're hosting receptions in the Rio Penthouse Suite. Has a baby grand piano. There's going to be live music. There's going to be a
quarter for
bar.
the frolicking on top of that piano in the day. You know, I used to live in Vegas.
I did not know that.
Yes,
Really?
yes, child. Yes, I did. They ran
More
me.
stories.
They ran me out. I'm kidding. I did live there though for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I worked right by the Rio. That's why when you said I went to Rio, so I'm just thrilled. Listen, you guys, if you want to join us, can people?
Absolutely. Yes.
Tell them how they do that if they want to join us in Vegas in August. The dates again are
August 11th through the 15th.
okay.
And if you guys wanna come and join us, you can check us out. Our website and all of our socials are there. You'll find all the information for the events. Again, we're doing 4 nights of penthouse parties. We're doing 3 specialty brunches in the penthouse. One for differently abled folks, for folks with small children, and also for people who deal with sensory overload issues.
Oh, so, like Asperger's.
Yes, yes. So we are trying our best to host a variety of events for underserved parts of our community.
Love it, because you can't forget those who been in the same sandbox with you, playing in the same playground with the barbed wire 22-foot fence around it.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yeah. Love it. Love your purpose.
They need their time to feel seen, to feel heard, and to have something planned with them in mind. And you know, like, it's hard for me to not do flashy, by the way, for the, you know, for people with sensory overload issues. It's like, oh God, I gotta lay off the flashy videos and the sure, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because
I can't wait. I'm
the
looking
whole
forward
thing
to it.
is to make it, you know, good for them and you know, something that hopefully they will leave saying, wow, I hope they do that again next year.
There you go. You guys, you'll never know what this is like. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So come and join us if you can. If not, live it vicariously through Brian and I, because we'll be there in full attendance. Listen, as we get out of here, I want to thank you, Dan DEEVY, for giving us your time and pouring into us and opening our minds and eyes and hearts to something we might not have otherwise found and understood quite so clearly. And for you all out there, I want to tell you every day, like I say to you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is our theme this year, Show Me Your Soul, and I'll show you mine. Listen, take this with you. Please receive this. We have been here today in the last hour and 7 or 8 minutes, whatever it's been, fulfilling the promise where 2 or more of us come together, something wonderful will happen. Have those conversations that matter, and you will change this world whether you realize it or not. Get out and be the blessing you'd like to receive, and remember, our stories is all that we leave behind, not DNA and not our fingerprints, but our stories can live on for thousands of years. So thank you. Join me tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central, God willing. I'll be right outside on the front porch waiting to welcome you to that episode, Friday's episode, where Chris Coda from Atlanta, Georgia will be my guest. I'll see you on the next episode of Bathrobe Moments. Be good to yourselves and be even better to others. Thanks, Dan. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, all. You guys be good. See ya.